Hello, America. JOC here with your Ranting Politics headline updates, where we are diving into today's most explosive political stories that you need to know about. Coming up, we're diving deep into some explosive revelations about the FBI's secret Trump campaign investigation, breaking down the latest on President Trump's bold Ukraine peace strategy, and unpacking some seriously concerning news about Iran's nuclear program. But that's not all. We're also getting into the nitty-gritty of Trump's controversial new immigration gold card program, a major shakeup in the intelligence community courtesy of DNI Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's bird flu plan unveiled, and the launching of a mandatory registry of illegal immigrants. So buckle up and get ready for 20 minutes of pure, unvarnished political reality. This is Ranting Politics, where we don't play favorites. We just tell it like it is. In a bombshell development, the FBI has launched an internal investigation into what might be one of the most controversial covert operations in the Bureau's recent history. We're talking about a previously unknown 2015 operation ordered directly by then FBI Director James Comey, targeting Donald Trump's presidential campaign using two female undercover agents in what's being described as a HoneyPot operation. According to exclusive reporting from the Washington Times, this off-the-books investigation was revealed by an FBI whistleblower to the House Judiciary Committee. What makes this particularly explosive is that this operation predated the infamous Crossfire Hurricane investigation by nearly a year, kicking off right after Trump announced his candidacy in June 2015. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The current FBI leadership under Director Kash Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino is actively searching for these former undercover employees. According to the whistleblower, these agents managed to infiltrate Trump's campaign at high levels, operating without any official case file or documentation in the FBI's systems. The operation apparently went so deep underground that it was completely hidden from Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz during his investigation into FBI misconduct. We're talking about a case with, and I'm quoting here, no predicated foundation. Basically a fishing expedition looking for anything they could use against Trump. But here's the kicker. The operation was ultimately shut down, not because someone inside the Bureau grew a conscience, but because a major newspaper got their hands on a photo of one of the undercover agents. The FBI's response? They told the paper the photo was of an informant who'd be killed if it went public. Talk about playing dirty. The aftermath is equally fascinating. One of these undercover agents conveniently transferred to the CIA to avoid being called as a witness, while the other got promoted and is now apparently a high-level FBI executive in a major field office. And get this, other FBI employees were reportedly threatened to never discuss the operation again. This revelation adds yet another layer to the already complex story of federal law enforcement's involvement in the 2016 election, and raises serious questions about the FBI's conduct during that pivotal period in American political history. In a significant policy shift on the Ukraine conflict, President Trump has laid out his vision for ending the war, and it's raising eyebrows in diplomatic circles. Speaking before his first cabinet meeting, Trump made it clear that while he wants Ukraine to regain territory, NATO membership is completely off the table. Let's break down what the president actually said. Trump emphasized that he'll push for Russia to make concessions and work to get Ukraine as much back as possible of its occupied territory. We're talking about roughly 20% of Ukraine that Russia currently controls, including Crimea and substantial portions of the eastern regions. But here's where Trump drew a hard line. NATO membership for Ukraine is, in his words, something they can forget about. He directly linked NATO aspirations to the conflict's origins, suggesting that this very issue might have triggered the whole war. This stance puts him at odds with Ukrainian President Zelensky, who's been pushing hard for NATO membership as the ultimate security guarantee. The timing here is particularly interesting. This comes just as Zelensky publicly stated he'd be willing to step down from the presidency if it meant securing NATO membership for his country. Trump's response effectively closes that door, offering instead a different kind of security arrangement tied to a new mineral deal that Zelensky is heading to Washington to sign this Friday. Trump's vision for peace seems to rest on two main pillars: European peacekeepers on the ground in this mineral fund arrangement, which he argues will provide what he calls sort of automatic security by putting American workers on Ukrainian soil. Though notably, Russia has already expressed opposition to the peacekeeping proposal. As for actual peace negotiations, while there's no set date for a Trump-Putin meeting, both sides acknowledge that more groundwork needs to be laid through delegation meetings before the two leaders can sit down face-to-face. The key challenge ahead appears to be crafting a deal that both sides can accept while maintaining strategic interests. Breaking news from the International Atomic Energy Agency that's sending shockwaves through diplomatic circles. Iran has dramatically ramped up its uranium enrichment program, now possessing enough material to potentially manufacture 6 nuclear weapons. This isn't just another routine update. We're talking about a serious escalation that's putting the entire Middle East on edge. Mike Huckabee, Trump's nominee for U.S. ambassador to Israel, isn't mincing words about this threat. He's warning that Iran isn't just making empty threats. They've been crystal clear about their intentions. As Huckabee puts it, Israel is just the appetizer in Iran's eyes, with America being the main course. That's not diplomatic speak, folks. That's a stark reality check about Iran's ambitions. The timing here is crucial. Under the Trump administration's first term, maximum pressure sanctions had effectively bankrupted Iran's capabilities to fund regional terrorism and nuclear development. But that changed dramatically under Biden's policies, allowing Iran to rebuild its financial resources and accelerate its nuclear program. Now we're seeing the results of that policy shift. The IRGC is openly threatening military action, with General Ibrahim Jabari recently boasting about plans to raze Tel Aviv and Haifa to the ground. And this isn't just tough talk. Iran has already launched 2 major aerial attacks against Israel this year alone. What's particularly concerning is that Iran remains the only non-nuclear weapon state producing this level of enriched nuclear material. The IAEA's report makes it clear this isn't just about capability anymore, it's about intent. And with Iran's consistent threats against both Israel and the United States, the international community is facing a critical decision point about how to respond. President Trump has already moved to reimpose his maximum pressure campaign, aiming to cut off Iran's financial resources and prevent both nuclear weapon development and terrorism funding. The question now is whether these measures will be enough to contain a regime that's closer than ever to crossing the nuclear threshold. In a move that's reshaping the landscape of U.S. immigration policy, the Trump administration has unveiled plans for a groundbreaking $5 million gold card program. This isn't your standard green card system. We're looking at what Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is calling Green Card Privileges Plus for wealthy foreign investors. Let's break down the numbers because they're staggering. There are currently 250,000 people waiting in line for the existing EB-5 visa program. Under this new Gold Card initiative, if just 200,000 wealthy foreigners participate, we're talking about generating $1 trillion to help tackle our $36.5 trillion national debt. The program essentially streamlines the complicated EB-5 visa system, which currently requires roughly $1 million in U.S. investments. Instead, it's offering a straightforward deal. Pay $5 million up front, pass federal vetting, and you're in. No more regional investment requirements. No more proving you've created 10 American jobs. Now, this isn't entirely without precedent. Countries worldwide have been running similar programs, though none quite at this scale. For perspective, Caribbean nations like Antigua and Barbuda charge around $230,000 for citizenship. Even in the European Union, Malta's top-tier program only asks for about $787,000. But here's where it gets interesting and potentially concerning. The Financial Action Task Force has raised red flags about these types of programs globally. They're worried about everything from money laundering to criminals using these schemes as get-out-of-jail-free cards. Trump's administration says they're aware of these risks and promises robust vetting, particularly for Russian oligarchs and Chinese industrial titans. The program isn't offering instant citizenship. That's an important distinction. But it does provide a path toward it, with the possibility of applying for citizenship after 5 years. The administration is positioning this as a win-win. Wealthy foreigners get expedited access to the American dream, while the U.S. gets a massive cash injection to help address its debt crisis. Stay with us as we take a quick break to hear from our lead sponsor, whose support helps make this show possible.
Is your home's landscaping, exterior style, or outdoor space ready for a transformation? Whether you're lakeside or curbside, make the most of your property with Garden and Grow Design, your premier digital landscape designers. At Garden and Grow Design, we specialize in increasing the value and beauty of your home by crafting elegant outdoor living spaces. Our experienced and creative designers use cutting-edge 3D technology to blend seasonal colors, perennial blooms, and stylish hardscapes into your ideal garden. And the best part? It's all designed for minimal maintenance. Don't just imagine your perfect yard. See it first with our innovative digital designs. Whether it's a serene waterfront retreat or a chic patio for entertaining, we bring your outdoor dreams to life. Ready to grow? Visit www.gardenandgrowdesign.com to start your journey toward a breathtaking landscape today. Garden and Grow Design. Cultivate beauty, cultivate life.
In a shocking move that sent ripples through Washington's intelligence community, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has announced the immediate termination of over 100 intelligence employees. The cause? The discovery of what Gabbard describes as obscene, pornographic, and sexually explicit chat rooms on the National Security Agency's Interlink platform. This isn't just about inappropriate workplace behavior. It's about a fundamental breach of trust at the highest levels of our national security apparatus. These weren't junior staffers either. We're talking about personnel from the Defense Intelligence Agency, U.S. Naval Intelligence, and the NSA itself. The investigation, first brought to light by conservative activist Christopher Rufo, revealed these government employees had been using official communication channels to discuss everything from their personal fetishes to gender transition procedures. And they weren't exactly subtle about it. These discussions were happening right there on government servers during work hours, on platforms meant for national security communications. Gabbard's response has been swift and uncompromising. Not only are these employees being dismissed, but they're also having their security clearances revoked by week's end. As she put it, these disgusting chat groups were immediately shut down when President Trump issued his executive order ending the DEI insanity the Biden administration was obsessed with. But here's what makes this particularly concerning. These employees felt comfortable enough to conduct these activities on official channels, suggesting a level of institutional complacency that's persisted for years. As Gabbard noted in her Fox News appearance, this might be just barely scratching the surface of deeper issues within our intelligence community. The NSA has acknowledged the situation, but seems to be downplaying it, characterizing it as potential misuse of these platforms by a small group of individuals. However, when we're talking about over 100 intelligence professionals with high-level security clearances, it raises serious questions about oversight and accountability in our nation's most sensitive institutions. My friends, if you're enjoying the insights and the independent ethos we're dishing out here at Ranting Politics, don't be a stranger. Jump into the lively conversation on X. Give us a follow at RantingRP, or check us out at rantingpolitics.com, or stop over to our all-new YouTube channel. We're always buzzing about the next big headline and love to see your takes on the fiasco that is politics. And while you've got that phone handy, come on, I know it's in your reach. Do us a solid and tap that like and follow button on your podcast feed. Your support doesn't just boost our reach, it keeps real independent thought in the game against those giant media machines. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms, from Apple Podcasts to Spotify and now Alexa. Hit that subscribe button for regular updates chock full of unfiltered analysis and all the news that's fit to rant about. Let's dive into some major domestic policy changes that are going to hit American wallets and communities in the coming months. First up, your breakfast is about to get a lot more expensive. The USDA is projecting egg prices could surge by more than 40% this year, pushing those already record-high prices even higher. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins just announced a $1 billion plan to combat the bird flu crisis that's decimating our chicken populations, but don't expect immediate relief at the grocery store. The numbers here are staggering. We're talking about more than 166 million birds that have been culled to contain this virus, with last month being the worst yet, as nearly 19 million egg-laying chickens were lost. Some consumers are already paying more than $1 per egg in certain areas, and restaurants like Denny's and Waffle House have started adding egg surcharges to their menus. In other major domestic news, the Trump administration is rolling out a mandatory registry for illegal immigrants this week. This new system will require all undocumented migrants over 14 years old to submit their fingerprints and home addresses to federal authorities. It's not just paperwork. There are serious consequences for non-compliance, including fines up to $5,000 and potential jail time of up to 6 months. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem didn't mince words about the policy, stating that illegal aliens face a clear choice: either return home and follow legal immigration processes or face the consequences of continuing to violate U.S. laws. The system gives migrants 30 days to register once the website goes live, and they'll be required to carry proof of registration at all times. These policies represent significant shifts in how we're handling both agricultural and immigration challenges. While the administration is promising that these changes will bring stability to our food markets and better control over immigration, the immediate impact on American communities and consumers is likely to be substantial. That wraps up another packed episode of Ranting Politics Headline Updates. From the FBI's investigation into alleged HoneyPot operations against Trump's 2016 campaign to major developments in Ukraine peace negotiations, Iran's concerning nuclear capabilities, and Tulsi Gabbard's dramatic intelligence community shakeup, we've covered a lot of ground today. And let's not forget those domestic policy changes that will impact your daily life: skyrocketing egg prices, and that new mandatory immigrant registry system that's about to roll out. These are the kinds of stories that matter, and we'll keep bringing them to you without the partisan spin. For more in-depth coverage and breaking updates, make sure you're following us on X at RantingRP. You can also catch full episodes on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to visit rantingpolitics.com for exclusive content and analysis. This is JOC signing off, and thank you, our loyal listeners, for choosing Ranting Politics Headline Updates. We'll be back soon with the updates you need to navigate these interesting times. Until then, stay tuned, stay informed, and as always, stay free.
Hey, you brilliant inventors and creators. Have you crafted a product that's ready to break out from the digital world and hit the physical shelves? Imagine your creation sitting proudly in stores like Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, where 90% of purchases still happen. Well, it's time to turn that vision into reality with Product Fury. At Product Fury, we specialize in bridging the gap between online innovation and retail giants. In fact, we have secured millions of dollars of royalty deals for dozens of products at big box retail stores. Whether you're selling gadgets, home goods, or anything innovative, we're here to amplify your reach. Don't keep your product confined to the web. Visit www.productfury.ai today to submit your information for a free product evaluation. Let's get your products out of the internet cloud and into customer carts. Remember, that's productfury.ai. Make the leap from clicks to bricks and see your product thrive in the bustling aisles of major retailers. It's your time to shine on the big stage. Visit us now